Hello YouTube! I'm not going to beat around the bush with you with this video. I'm just going to come out and say it. I have never read Animorphs. I never read it. I never picked one up. I never read it. I read a lot of other series. Those types of series were what I did. They were my jam. I read all of Babysitter's Club. I read all of Sweet Valley. I read all of Goosebumps. I read even ones that didn't have as many books like that. I read the Ramona Quimby books and the Amber Brown books, and I even tried my hand at some Boxcar Children and some Nancy Drew, even though it never like totally stuck. But I never read Animorphs. So when I was younger, I didn't read it just because they didn't really appeal to me. So first of all, this just is not a cover that, I mean, current day Kristina doesn't really feel drawn to this cover, but early, not even preteen yet, book nerd Kristina was like super judgmental about the books that she read, and she was definitely not into this book. Like, okay, there's like a little boy and a lizard. Two things I didn't really like that much. I did not like little boys and I did not like lizards. And then this weird face thing that happens on every book. Like every iteration of face morphing between the boy and the lizard is really freaking creepy. It's like really creepy. I don't even totally know what it's about. I know it's a bunch of kids who can turn into animals, which now that I've like accepted more fantasy type stuff into my reading library, I'm not totally turned off by that idea, but I knew there was like aliens and like it was like pretty sci-fi heavy, and I didn't read sci-fi at all as a kid, and so it just didn't appeal to me. I read Goosebumps, so it wasn't like I wasn't into books that were like also sort of meant for boys, but I loved Goosebumps, and so it wasn't that. It was just, this was just too sci-fi for me. I don't know. So that's like the explanation that I give people that I feel good about. The one that I don't feel good about is that in middle school, there was this group of kids, like I was pretty nerdy in middle school, so don't think that I was like the cool kid that was too cool for anything nerdy. Like I was all about anime in middle school. I was in like a Sailor Moon fan club and all of that. So let's just get that out of the way. But there was this group of like really nerdy kids, like the sweatpants up to the armpits kids, you know what I'm talking about. And they loved Animorphs. And they not only loved Animorphs, they had an Animorphs fan club that met at lunch, and they made crowns out of index cards that said, "I heart Animorphs fan club," that they wore all the time. For some reason, this weird thing happened at my middle school where if you liked Animorphs, you wore a crown of index cards that proclaimed it. I already wasn't really drawn to the books, but when I saw that, when I saw the index card crown, and let me remind you, I was in a Sailor Moon fan club where we used to pretend we were Sailor Scouts at school, at lunch, but wearing an index card crown was still like one step further. Anyway, so the whole point of this video is not for me to admit to you what a horrible kid I was, because it was like a fair amount of peer pressure. You didn't read Animorphs at my school. It was just the thing that you didn't do. But I have a lot of people in my life who have expressed outrage at my lack of Animorphs familiarity. And so at a recent book sale that I went to where everything was $1, I bought the first one, The Invasion by K.A. Applegate. And I'm gonna read it. So I just thought I'd come clean and be honest with you guys about the prejudice that I had against Animorphs. I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna read this book and then I'll make a video reviewing it. Let me know down in the comments if you've read Animorphs, if you think I'm gonna like it, and what the biggest series of books or singular book was that you sort of missed out on from your childhood that people are giving you crap about not reading. Because I read a lot of books, and this is one of the only ones that I missed that was popular back then, and no one will let me live it down. Anyway, that's all for this week. Let's talk about books down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.